a guy like me coming out beating Davi, it's not going to give me too much credit in the world of jiu-jitsu, because you know how the people are, the world is like, they'll always look for a problem. Yeah, but you won because Davi wasn't ready for this or that, or they didn't have any tape on you. It's kind of the story of how the world works. But me going out there beating a guy like Davi, just solidifying the statements that my coaches, Richie, my teammates, and the people that's around me daily get to witness, that statement, just going out there and proving a point and showing to them that their belief in me carried me through. It's kind of just me giving back to them for believing in me. So I think going out there beating Davi, bringing another belt back to Quan Vessels would be good.
I like this feeling because this happened because jiu-jitsu is important for me. And then when I feel nervous, this is a good feeling for me. This gives me more motivation for training, you know? This is normal, you feel nervous. Especially when I have a new challenge now, like against a UFC veteran. I know this guy is a good wrestler, and then I start training more my wrestling. I start to develop more my game in different areas.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the moment we've all been waiting for. Our super fight main event awaits us next in the form of a lightweight title matchup for the ages. From the red corner, representing Brazil by the way of Durban, he carries the flag for Tupi BJJ, the two-division champion. Please welcome Davi Alencar. His opponent is no stranger to the South African combat scene, a former record-breaking EFC champion, former UFC athlete. From the blue corner, representing Quan Vessels Academy, please welcome the young savage, JP Bass. Your referee, Kino Lundi.
Folks, if you were looking for fireworks, this is the matchup for you. Pitting one of the biggest names on the WTA roster, Davi Alencar, up against a hungry lion and JP Bass. Will this be a matchup determined by free-flowing jiu-jitsu or one determined by exceptional pressure? Luke, we have to lay our cards on the table. Obviously, JP, a teammate of ours, but he's not sleeping on the individual that we call the boogeyman.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Both these guys, started competing. I think this is JP's first time competing since he's returned from the US. So, kind of a little bit of an unknown here for Davi, So I'm very interested to see if he can impose more of a pressure game, or if Davi is able to use his traditional leg attacks that we've seen from him in the past to upset this match.
Yeah, and the match playing out exactly how we thought it would be. Davi looking to get JP into his guard, and JP...
Yeah, playing on the outside here, looking good, controlling the ankles. Don't want to advance too much straight into the guard of someone who's notoriously well known for leg locking, But here it does look like Davi's able to enter in on a leg. Toe hold straight away here. Poker face here by JP, looking
Absolute
to strip the feet.
Face by JP, but a dangerous position nonetheless.
Absolutely.
He's unfortunately played straight into Davi's hands.
Yeah, he needs to start stripping feet off to the outside here. If he gets a reap going, it could be some issues here. Good job by JP to strip the feet off and avoid that position. Davi now on top, still has control of that ankle. JP needs to be careful which way he's turning. Now both legs controlled by Davi. JP looking to come on top here. Davi's doing a good job, kind of entering into this reverse close guard position that's been more popularized recently. JP manages to clear the knee line.
And that's exactly the position that JP was trying to get to, that knee line cleared. He's going to want to make some space away from his opponent, and he ends up in a much better position. Probably going to look to body lock past him.
Yeah, very good. Now he's got his hands connected. Wants to look to try and clear those knees.
Well, for those at home that have been caught up in that leg entanglement position, you know, it was exceptionally dangerous. He did a good job to get out of it, and we were most definitely holding our breath back here in the commentary.
Absolutely. And Davi now manages to put him back into that close guard. Now from here for JP to continue with the body lock is going to be slightly pointless. He needs to break that that close guard of Davi's before he can start advancing position from here.
So walk us through this breaking of the close guard, Luke.
Yeah, so I mean, especially with a high-level guy, he's going to have to stand up, right? So put him post in his training partner's armpits and looking to stand up from here, especially with someone with a strong leg. If he stays on the knees from here, it's going to be very difficult to break that close guard open.
So C-cupping into the armpits and creating some space away from the hip line.
Yeah, absolutely. Davi looking to create some angle here, scooping underneath the arm. Got a few potential threats from here. JP holding onto that body lock nice and tight.
I guess the one benefit of holding onto the body lock is that it doesn't allow Davi to scoop that leg.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, JP also holding himself in this position here. So about 6.5 minutes left in this match.
And a reminder to those individuals at home watching tonight, for the first time in WTA history, we have title defenses on the line, this being one of the titles on the line. And, you know, Davi having an opportunity to kind of drive home his name on the stage by defending a title for the first time. He was meant to be up against JP's teammate Warren King, so Warren looking very astutely at every single move that is being made right here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this will be a great win over a formidable opponent in JP Base. You know, obviously a former UFC athlete, so you know his pedigree is no joke. So yeah, very good matchup here for Davi if he's able to pull out the win.
Yeah, for those folks at home, you know, JP has been on the international circuit for a while, finding residence in Las Vegas, having teammates such as Aljamain Sterling and Merab Devashvili, and has decided to come back home for the time being and make sure that he can reset his base back where it all started.
Davi looking very active here, trying to do as much as he can from this close guard position, but JP really kind of stalling out this position at the moment, not really doing much to attempt to break that guard open or advance position.
You know, coming into this matchup, the question was going to be, would JP's wrestling have an advantage over Davi? Davi most definitely negating that by getting down into a guard position, trying to attract JP and or trap him into that position, and I think he's been quite successful in doing so.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, especially in this submission only rule set, I think he's done a very good job to pull guard here and start the action straight away on the mat and kind of avoid that standing position with JP. You know, it's always worth kind of weighing up, and you know, depending on the rule set, do I actually use wrestling here or do I just sit to guard straight away? And I think Davi's made a pretty good decision here. Now JP beating that top leg, getting into that chest-to-chest half guard position. This is where we're going to see that pressure start to play in here.
And look, we mentioned about what JP needed to do in order to break that guard, but it also takes two to tango, and Davi had a decision to make whether he wanted to open up the space, put his feet on the hip, start to attack his opponent, but seemed reserved on also maintaining position.
Yeah, absolutely. JP now getting a windshield in place, kind of staple position with that outside foot. Still locking down the body pretty well here. Will he be able to split the legs completely and pass? He's got a strong tight waist in with that right hand. JP's going to want to try and flatten him out here.
JP looking to take his back. He's got one hook in already. He'll look to enter the second, or potentially just...
Davi doing a good job here, stopping that second hook from coming in. He's got some limited upper body control. JP now transitioning to head and arm, and he gets 2 hooks in. Beautiful use of that arm triangle.
Now starting to attack the neck. This is not a position that Davi would have wanted to find himself with 3 minutes on the clock to go.
Yeah, oh, getting flattened out from here.
JP utilizing the gas mask to get underneath the neck of Davi. With 3 minutes to go, that's a lot of time to
for him
work.
to work here, yeah. It's going to take a lot of energy for Davi to be able to escape this position. But looks like he's done a great job here. He's managed to turn inside. JP loses the position.
Yeah, and you know, I was just about to note that the calls from JP's corner from Richie Kwan was flatten him out, but now JP finding himself in a guillotine attempt. I don't think that's deep enough.
Yeah, it looks like Davi's got his hands in place here to defend, manages to pop out and back to a neutral position. What a scramble by both men.
Fantastic scramble. I think JP would do well to make sure that he doesn't get trapped into that guard once again.
Yeah, for sure. He definitely wants to stay on the outside here. Oh, straight back into the closed guard. Let's see if he approaches this any differently to prior time he was stuck in this position.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've just entered the last 2 minutes of this matchup. Sorry to disappoint you if you were looking for some wrestling, but what you got instead is some high-level jiu-jitsu between two great practitioners. A reminder that JP is a brown belt with Davi a first-degree black belt. And, you know, I talk about belts, but at the same time, given the high level of grappling that we've seen from around the world, you're seeing fantastic you know, blue belt opponents like Helena just tearing it up on the international scene. A teammate of yours, Luke.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're starting to see less and less of, you know, belt ranks actually making a difference in high-level competition, particularly with no gi. And yeah, like you said, Helena is a great example of a young woman, only 17 years old and a blue belt, and you know, going out there and absolutely destroying almost everybody that's been competing at black belt. So yeah, it's interesting to see how, you know, just skill development is now starting to become more important than, you know, belts and time spent. Davi looking to set up some kind of rubber guard, and now JP manages to scramble past the legs and flatten him out of the mounted position. Great job by JP. Got that potential head and arm set up from here.
Head and arm, a potential smother. He's looking to isolate that arm.
He's got 30 seconds left to work here for JP.
Seemingly just best case scenario for JP here is obviously a submission, but a second best case scenario is, you know, getting to put that pressure as we start to approach overtime, trying to get everything he can out of the gas tank of Davi.
Yeah, absolutely. Looks like he's trying for that smother choke right here. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to get a bit of a shoulder strike there. And we're going to head to overtime rounds.
Talk to us about what JP needed to get right with that potential smother attack.
Yeah, so I mean, the smother tap, especially if somebody is good at and knows what to do, it can be hard to finish, especially if you don't have two arms above. What you really want to aim is your sternum for like the tip of the nose area, so that you can cover the mouth and the nose there. But if somebody knows how to defend it and, you know, is efficient in turning their face side to side, it can be a tricky one to finish.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, JP winning the toss and deciding to move into the back position and take Davi's back as the first position. It's going to be interesting to see whether he looks to ride the 2 minutes out or if he takes the risk to attack Davi.
Yeah, look, I always recommend going for the finish, right? If you get the finish early, your training partner gets put under pressure and has to escape within a certain amount of time. Obviously, you want to be aware that as you're going for the submission, you also don't want to concede position. So a good balance between trying to hold him in place while trying to finish your training partner, I would recommend, is a good strategy. But JP looks to go for the double underhooks here, probably wanting to stay and just hold that position. Body triangle is locked here.
Interesting modification in the body triangle with the leg on the inside.
Yeah, still very effective. As long as he doesn't get that foot, yeah, much better like that. Davi trying his best here to create some separation of chest to back and start turning inside. JP doing a very good job of holding that connection nice and tight.
Keeping that elbow and that shoulder off of the ground. Really, really difficult position when that body triangle, the top side triangle is slapped on.
Yeah, for sure. Especially after that grueling regulation time with JP finishing on top. You got to think that that's played a little bit into, you know, taking some energy away from Davi at this point.
Yeah. And it's showing in Davi's face. Double underhooks on either side. Body triangle on JP, almost looking to flatten him out.
I'd like to see JP now trying to start threatening the finish. He's built up a significant amount of ride time here.
Seemingly looking like part of JP's strategy is to ride this one out, finish up the clock. Despite some advice from number 10 pound for pound in the world from Flow Grappling rankings, Luke Griffith,
I don't
advising
know
to go for the sub.
10 seconds left to go here in this overtime round.
And he's unlikely to lose this position, so it will be Davi's match to win by trying to ensure that he can submit him over that 2-minute period of time. Folks at home, just a reminder that if the result of the second part of this overtime is exactly the same, we will swing to another round of overtime. So an opportunity for Davi to extend this run by either submitting and or for ensuring that he doesn't allow his opponent to drop out of this potential submission attack.
I think we will see Davi going for a submission here. Seems a little bit more submission oriented than JP was throughout the match.
All the chips on the table for the title. And JP
does a good job. Almost out of the position, but still got that elbow in place. And transition to the arm, and he's out.
A win for JP Bays. Fantastic showing. It moved to overtime, and I think what we can really hone in on is his ability to weather that initial storm. First 2 minutes of that match, he looked in real trouble with his legs entangled there, but he weathered it and he got to the other side, and now he is the victor and the owner of a new shiny belt.
Absolutely. Great performance by both guys. It was a very exciting back and forth match, and JP's able to pull it out in overtime. Congratulations.
Yeah, good to see a lot of respect shown by both athletes, even though it was a tense atmosphere. Couple of 1 or 2 shoulder strikes and a few bad looks from each athlete. But with a lot on the line, those things are going to happen.
Absolutely. And I think that builds up the hype of the match as well, right? It builds up that excitement, and people want to see, the result of that match. And so, yeah, very, very good job by JP managing to edge out that win in overtime.
Okay, we're going to go back into the replay now, Luke. Tell us what JP did well to head out of this escape.
Yeah, I mean, right in the beginning here, this looked like it was a pretty tight position. He put on a good poker face, but you could see there was a slight grimace there from JP. A few things that he could have done slightly better in this position, the ways he turned wrong, but yeah, managed to weather that storm and eventually get past the guard of Davi and start putting that pressure on towards the end of regulation. There we see one of those shoulder strikes. And yeah, I mean, beautiful turning escape there by JP. Almost gets himself caught with that arm and manages to slip that elbow line free.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm with the new champion, JP Bass. That has a nice ring to it, doesn't it?
Yeah, it feels good. It kind of sounds similar, right? We've heard that a few times in this country.
JP, that was a really impressive performance against a formidable, a legend of submission kings. You must be over the moon with that performance.
Yes, sir. I mean, as happy as I am, I thought I would get him out there. Tough guy, difficult game to play. Not the type of guy that you go man to man and try break him. He's just too technical, plays the system, play the rules set good. So yeah, I'm happy to go home with this belt for my people, my sponsors, my country, my coaches. This is for you guys. Thank you.
How do you like the 10-minute round?
Yo, before the time I said to my coaches, I say, yo, I'm not getting paid for 10 minutes, 14 minutes. I'm not trying to grapple that long, but unfortunately you guys got the whole almost hour of me. But thank you guys for staying.
JP, what's next for you? Are you back in South Africa for a while now? Is this the sort of space you want to be operating in for some time?
Yes, sir. I'll be here for a minute, an hour, a day. I'm here to stay. Even if I go fight elsewhere, this is my house and you guys will see me a lot more often. I'll be back.
Ladies and gentlemen, JP Bass, your new champion here at Winner Takes All 8.
Your local dealership, but the motoring team dedicated to your vehicle needs. Whether you are looking to buy a new or used car online or in one of our many dealerships, our trained staff will be there to guide you. With our state-of-the-art service centers, products and parts, we guarantee peace of mind. The CMH Group isn't just the first choice, we are the only choice. Visit your local CMH Group dealers